A sandwich, a protest, and a trial. The story that's dividing opinions. Imagine a scenario where a simple sandwich becomes the centerpiece of a federal trial, sparking debates about free speech, political expression, and the limits of prosecutorial power. This isn't a plot from a dystopian novel. It's happening right now in the United States. The trial of Sean C. Dunn, a former paralegal, accused of throwing a sandwich at a federal agent during a protest, has become a symbol of resistance and a lightning rod for controversy. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. The Trump administration is determined to prosecute Dunn, even after a grand jury refused to indict him on felony charges. Why? And what does this say about the state of political dissent in America today? The incident that went viral in August. Dunn allegedly threw a sandwich at a Customs and Border Protection agent during a protest against President Trump's deployment of federal troops in Washington, D.C. A video of the incident went viral, turning Dunn into a local hero for some and a symbol of lawlessness for others. But the case is far from straightforward. Dunn's lawyers argue that the prosecution is politically motivated, a retaliation for his outspoken criticism of the Trump administration. They claim that throwing a sandwich at a fully armed, heavily protected agent would never have drawn federal charges if not for Dunn's political speech. This raises a critical question. Are we criminalizing dissent under the guise of law and order? The bigger picture. Minor cases, major implications. Dunn's case is just one of several unusually minor cases being brought to federal court at President Trump's direction. Since August, Trump has maintained a heavy presence of armed National Guard troops and federal agents in Washington, D.C., ostensibly to combat crime. Yet, crime rates were already declining. Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. attorney in Washington and former Fox News host, has been aggressively prosecuting any crimes that arise, despite setbacks like grand juries refusing to indict. This pattern suggests a broader strategy, using the legal system to suppress opposition and intimidate protesters. But is this a legitimate use of prosecutorial power, or an abuse of it? The jury's dilemma. As the trial proceeds, federal prosecutors and Dunn's lawyers are sparring over how to instruct a jury. The unusual nature of the charges, misdemeanor assault without physical contact, complicates matters. Adding to the complexity, the incident has become a cultural phenomenon, with Halloween decorations and Banksy-style posters depicting Dunn appearing around the city. This notoriety could influence jury selection and public perception of the case. But here's the part most people miss. The trial isn't just about a sandwich. It's about the boundaries of free speech and the government's role in policing dissent. A controversial interpretation. Some argue that Dunn's actions, while symbolic, crossed a line into criminal behavior. Others see the prosecution as a chilling attempt to silence critics of the Trump administration. The case has sparked a heated debate. Can political speech justify actions that might otherwise be considered unlawful? Or should the law be applied uniformly, regardless of context? This isn't just a legal question, it's a moral and political one. And it's a debate that's far from over. What's next? As Judge Carl J. Nichols, a Trump appointee, presides over the case, the outcome remains uncertain. Dunn's lawyers have described the prosecution as a blatant abuse of power, while the government insists it's simply enforcing the law. Whatever the verdict, the case will likely have lasting implications for how we understand free speech and political dissent in America. But here's the real question. Are we willing to let the government decide what constitutes acceptable protest? Or will we stand up for the right to express dissent, even when it's uncomfortable or controversial? Your turn to weigh in. What do you think? Is the prosecution of Sean C. Dunn justified, or is it an overreach of power? Does political speech change how we should view his actions? Share your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation that needs to happen.